With reference to the Criminal Procedure Identification Act 2022, which of the following is or included under the definition of measurements that are stored by the National Crime Records Bureau? Finger impression, iris and retina scan included. Finger impression, iris and retina scan. Signature also. Okay. Which of the following statements best describes Gram Sabha? Which of the following statements best describes Gram Sabha? It is a local government body at the Tehsil or Taluka level. It is an elected body that functions at the district levels in all states. No. It is a village assembly consisting of all the registered voters in the area of Panchayat. It is a village assembly of all the people residing in the D. 11th D. Okay. It is a village assembly consisting of all the registered voters in the area of a Panchayat. Gram Sabha. Okay. With reference to the Presidents of India and the United States of America, consider the following statements. While the Indian President is part of the Parliament, the American President is not part of the U.S. Congress. Correct. The Indian President can dissolve the Lok Sabha, but the American President cannot dissolve the lower house of the U.S. Congress. The pocket veto power of the Indian President is greater than that of the American President. Okay. While the Indian President is part of the Parliament, the American President is not a part of the U.S. Congress. Okay. The Indian President can dissolve the Lok Sabha, but the American President cannot dissolve the lower house of the U.S. Congress. Okay. The pocket veto power of the Indian President is greater than that of the American President. With reference to the National Investigation Agency (NIA), consider the following statements. National Investigation Agency (NIA) consider the following statements. It can enter a state without permission of the state government for investigation of offences. Its jurisdiction applies to Indian citizens residing in India only. The central government can suo motu direct NIA to investigate a scheduled offence. Beyond India. Okay. Its jurisdiction extends to the whole of India, and it applies also to citizens of India outside India, to persons in the service of the government wherever they may be, to persons on ships and aircrafts registered in India wherever they may be, and persons who committed a scheduled offence beyond India against the Indian citizen also. Okay, are affecting the interest of India. It is a central government. If the central government is of the opinion that a scheduled offence that has been committed, which is required to be investigated under NIA Act 2008, it may suo motu direct the agency to investigate the said offence. So, scheduled offence under the NIA Act 2008 are the offences which are explicitly provided under the schedule of the Act. NIA has recently investigated cases in Russia related to an ISIS bomber. National Investigation Agency (NIA) is an agency that at the national level to investigate and prosecute offences affecting the sovereignty, security and integrity of India, security of state, friendly relationship with foreign states, and offences under acts enacted to implement international treaties, agreements, conventions and resolutions of the United Nations, its agencies and other international organizations. It has the power to enter any state without permission from the respective state government to investigate and arrest people. section 123 of the representation, section 123 in the section 123 in the Representation of the People Act 1951 defines corrupt practices such as bribery, uh, is any gift, office, or promised by candidate or his agent or by any another person with the consent of a candidate or his election agent of any gratification. The promotion of or attempt to promote feelings of enmity or hatred between different classes of citizens of India on grounds of religion, race, caste, community, or language by candidate or his agent or any other person with the consent of a with the consent of a candidate or his election agent for the furtherance of the prospects of the election of that candidate or for prejudicially affecting the election of any candidate. In the Balaji case judgment, a division bench of the Supreme Court had held that making promises in election manifesto do not amount to a corrupt practice under Section 123 of the Representation of People Act. Supreme Court to reconsider judgment that making promises in election manifestos is not corrupt practice. The Criminal Procedure Identification Act provides legal sanction to the police to take physical and biological samples of convicts as well as those accused of crimes. The police can collect data as per Section 53 or 53A of the Code of Criminal Procedure 1973. As per the Act, measurements include finger impressions, palm print impressions, footprint impressions, photographs, irises and retina scan, physical, biological samples of their analysis, behavioral attributes including signatures, handwriting, or any other examination. National Crime Records Bureau (NCRB) will store, preserve, share with any law enforcement agency and destroy the record of measurement at national level. The record of measurement shall be retained in digital or electronic form for a period of 75 years. Any person convicted, arrested, or detained under any preventive detention law will be required to provide measurements to a police officer or a prison official. Relevance: concerns related to privacy were raised against certain sections of Criminal Procedure Identification Act. A new All India Services AIS common to both union and states can be created by the Parliament. A new All India Services AIS common to both union and states can be created by the Parliament if చూద్దాం ఒకసారి 23A. If Rajya Sabha passes a resolution supported by 2/3 of the members present and voting. Rajya Sabha. Article 312 of the Constitution of India provides for the Parliament to create new All India Services. It makes the following provisions under the article. When the Council of States Rajya Sabha has declared any resolution supported by not less than 2/3 of the members present and voting, that it is not less than 2/3 of the members present, that it is necessary or expedient in the national interest so to do so, Parliament may by law provide for the creation of one or more All India Services, including an All India Judicial Service common to the Union and the states, and subject to other provisions regulate the recruitment and the conditions of service of persons appointed to any such service. The law providing for the creation of the All India Judicial Service for giving effect to the provisions of that law, and no such law shall be deemed to be an amendment of this Constitution for the purposes of Article 368. Which one of the following is the common goal of Indian socialism and Marxism? Socialism and Marxism. Equality. Which of the following which one of the following is the common goal of Indian socialism and Marxism? Equality. Consider the following statements with reference to the Union Public Service Commission. It is consulted by the government while making reservations of appointments in favor of backward classes of citizens. A selection by the UPSC does not confer a right to the post upon the candidate. A selection by the UPSC does not confer right to post Okay. A selection by the UPSC does not confer a right to the post upon the candidate. In context of Indian political system, who among the following takes the oath of secrecy? Secrecy. President of India, Prime Minister, Chief Justice of India, Speaker of Lok Sabha, Ministers of State Legislature. Prime Minister, Ministers of State Legislature. Okay. Prime Minister and Ministers of State Legislature. Consider the following statements. Any speech delivered to insult citizens' religious beliefs is a punishable under law in India. The term hate speech and blasphemy is mentioned as a reasonable restriction to the fundamental right to freedom of speech and expression. Any speech delivered to insult citizens' religious beliefs is a punishable under law in India. Okay. Consider the following statements. All the executive actions of the Government of India are taken in the name of President of India. The Prime Minister makes rules for more convenient transactions of the business of the Government of India. No. All the executive actions of the Government of India are taken in the name of President of India. All the executive actions of the Government of India are taken in the name of President of India. Consider the following statements with reference to human rights courts in India. Human rights courts. The Protection of Human Rights Act 1993 provides for the establishment of a human rights courts in every district. These courts can be set up by the state government with conference. Okay. Human rights courts. The state government can appoint an advocate as a special public prosecutor in every human rights court. The state government can appoint an advocate as a special public prosecutor in every human rights court. These courts can be set up by the state government with the concurrence of the Chief Justice of the concerned High Court. The Protection of Human Rights Act 1993 provides for the establishment of a human rights courts in every district. Consider the following statements with reference to the National Capital Territory of Delhi, NCT. Okay. The Chief Minister and the other ministers are appointed by the Lieutenant Governor. The term government referred to any law made by the state legislature assembly implies Lieutenant Governor. The Lieutenant Governor can promulgate an ordinance when the assembly is dissolved or suspended. The term government referred to in any law made by the state legislative assembly implies Lieutenant Governor. Okay. Which of the following offices come directly under the Prime Minister's office (PMO) in India? Department of Atomic Energy, Department of Space. The allowances and salaries of who among the following are charged on the Consolidated Fund of India? One, two, and three only. Deputy Speaker of the Lok Sabha, Deputy Chairperson of the Rajya Sabha, Controller and Auditor General, Consolidated Fund of India. India. Okay. Which of the following states come under the purview of the fifth schedule of the Indian Constitution? Uh, Fifth schedule: Assam, Maharashtra, Tripura, Himachal Pradesh. Telangana, Maharashtra, Himachal Pradesh. Okay. Sixth schedule: Assam, Tripura, Meghalaya, Nagaland, Mizoram, not Manipur. Okay. With reference to All India Service, consider the following statements. Members of All India Service hold the office during the pleasure of the President. No government employee of the All India Service can be dismissed by any authority subordinate any authority subordinate to the one that appointed him or her. No government employee of the All India Service can be dismissed by an authority subordinate to the one that appointed him or her. Okay. Members of All India Service hold the office during the pleasure of the President. Pleasure of the President. Okay. Which among the following offices is the lowest position in the table of precedence? Lowest position. I think D. Okay. Judges of Supreme Court. Judges of Supreme Court. What is the main basis for allocation of seats to various states in the Lok Sabha? Main basis. Population of the state. Consider the following states. Which of the states mentioned above have a bicameral legislature? Andhra Pradesh, bicameral. Karnataka, no. Andhra Pradesh, Maharashtra, Karnataka. Okay. Andhra Pradesh, Maharashtra, Karnataka. Okay. With reference to the Enforcement Directorate of India, consider the following statements. It was created as an attached body to the Central Bureau of Investigation. No. It has the power to arrest an accused under the Prevention of Money Laundering Act 2002 without a warrant. S. The government of Gujarat can establish separate development boards for Saurashtra and Kutch region. No act of parliament relating to ownership and transfer of land would apply to Nagaland unless permitted by the state legislative assembly. The government of Gujarat can establish separate development boards for Saurashtra and Kutch region. No act of parliament relating to ownership and transfer of land would apply to Nagaland unless permitted by the state legislative assembly. With reference to the cabinet, consider the following statements. The functions of the cabinet are explicitly defined under the Indian Constitution. Its decisions are binding on the Council of Ministers. Its total members shall not exceed more than 10% of the total strength of the Council of Ministers. Its decisions are binding on the Council of Ministers. Okay. Consider the following statements with reference to the Model Code of Conduct. It comes into force on the first day of filing nomination papers by the candidates. It has statutory backing under the Representation of the People's Act 1951. During by-elections to the state legislative assembly, the code is applicable in the entire state. During by-elections to the state legislative assembly. The code is applicable in the entire state. It has statutory backing under the Representation of the People Act 1951. It comes into force on the first day of filing nomination papers by the candidates. Which of the following urban local bodies are provided under the Constitution 74th Amendment Act? 74th. Municipal corporations, town panchayat, municipal corporations, municipal council. 2 and 3, 67. Nagar panchayat, municipal corporations. Okay. Consider the following statements with reference to the Panchayat's extension to the Scheduled Areas Act 1996 PESA. All seats of chairpersons of panchayats at all levels shall be reserved for the scheduled tribes. All seats of chairpersons of panchayats at all levels shall be reserved for the scheduled tribes. Consider the following statement. The right to vote is a fundamental right in India. Okay. Individuals under preventive detention are not eligible to cast their votes in India. Preventive detention, not eligible to cast their votes in India. Correct answer. Neither one nor two. 63. Correct. Neither one nor two. Both are wrong statements. Right to vote is a legal right. Individuals under preventive detention can vote. They can vote respective assemblies. So constituencies, something. Consider the following statements. It is not a statutory body. Okay. It is created for the administration of fast developing town due to industrialization. All the members are nominated by the state government. All the members of the nominated by the state government. 81st. Notified area committee. Notified area committee. It is not a statutory body. It is created for the administration of a fast developing town due to industrialization. All the members are nominated by the state government. With reference to the scheduled areas under the 5th schedule of the Indian Constitution, consider the following statements. Parliament has power to declare an area as an scheduled area. No. The executive power of the state government does not extend to the scheduled areas in the state. The executive power of the state government does not extend to the scheduled areas in the state. No. The governor has the authority to restrict applicability of law to a scheduled area in the state. Yes. 78C. Correct. The governor has the authority to restrict applicability of law to a scheduled area in the state. Applicability of law, scheduled area in the state. In the first to past the post system, a candidate must get more than 50% of the votes polled to win the elections. In the proportional representation system, every political party gets seats in the legislature in proportion to the percentage of votes polled by it. Question. In the proportional representation system, every political party gets seats in the legislature in proportion to the percentage of votes polled by it. Consider the following statements with reference to the Goods and Services Tax GST Council. Every decision is taken by a majority of not less than 3/4 of the weighted votes of the members present and voting at the meeting. The weightage of votes of the central government is greater than the combined total weightage of all the state governments. Every decision is taken by a majority of not less than 3/4 of the weighted votes of the members present and voting at the meeting. Consider the following statements. All financial bills can be introduced in Lok Sabha only. The Rajya Sabha can neither amend nor reject any financial bill. Yes. The Speaker of Lok Sabha can certify a bill as a money bill. No. Can certify a Speaker of Lok Sabha. Yes. Answer 2 and 3, 76. C only. Okay. The Speaker of Lok Sabha can certify a bill as a money bill. Okay. దీని సంగతి ఏంది? ఎందుకు ఇట్లా వచ్చాడు? Financial bills are those bills that deal with fiscal matters, that is revenue or expenditure. Financial bills are of three kinds. A bill is deemed to be a money bill if it contains only those specific provisions which are mentioned in Article 110. It can be introduced only in the Lok Sabha by a minister. Private members other than minister cannot introduce a money bill in the Lok Sabha. Financial bill 1 is a bill under Article 117 clause 1 that contains any or all matters mentioned in Article 110 and in addition other matters of general legislation. Also it also requires the prior recommendation of the president before its introduction and can be introduced only in the Lok Sabha. Financial bill 2 mentioned in under Article 117 clause 3 contains provisions involving expenditure from the consolidated fund of India. Unlike the money and financial bill, it does not include any of the matters mentioned in Article 110. It is treated as an ordinary bill and can be introduced in both the Lok Sabha and Rajya Sabha. It does not require the prior recommendation of the president before its introduction in a house. A money bill can neither be rejected nor be amended by Rajya Sabha. The Rajya Sabha can only recommend some suggestions and should return the bill with or without recommendations with a maximum period of 14 days. However, financial bill and bill class 1 and financial bill class 2 can either rejected or amended by the Rajya Sabha. Okay. Financial bills, money bills. Okay. Consider the following statements. Claims become rights when they are recognized by society. Rights are entitlements granted to an individual by society. Rights are entitlements granted to an individuals by the society. Claims becomes rights when they are recognized by society. Claims becomes okay. Rights card. Which of the following are the functions of the Constitution? It enables the government to create necessary conditions for a just society. It confers a limit on the power of the government to impose restrictions on citizens. It enables the government to create necessary conditions for a just society. It confers a limit on the power of the government to impose restrictions on citizens. Correct. Consider the following statements. Balwantarai Mehta Committee, Tungan Committee, GVK Committee. These are the Panchayat Raj institutions in India. Which of the following provisions were introduced under the 44th Constitutional Amendment Act 1978? National emergency can be proclaimed only on the basis of written advice tendered by the cabinet. Okay. Fundamental rights guaranteed by Article 20 and 21 of the Indian Constitution cannot be suspended during the national emergency. The national emergency can be extended to an indefinite period with the approval of the Parliament for every 6 months. National emergency can be proclaimed only on the basis of written advice tendered by the cabinet. Under which of the following conditions can a political party be recognized as a national party in India? A party gets recognized as a state party in 4 or more states. If party wins, the party wins 2% of seats in the Lok Sabha from at least 3 different states. Okay. A party gets recognition as a party in 4 or more states. The party wins 2% of seats in the Lok Sabha from at least 3 different states. With reference to the Comptroller and Auditor General CAG of India, consider the following statements. Salaries and pensions and administrative expenses of CAG are charged upon the Consolidated Fund of India. Unlike in Britain, the CAG in India only audits the accounts after the expenditure is made. The audit reports of COG relating to the accounts of the government are submitted to the president. The COG in India only audits the account. There is no control. With reference to Central Bureau of Investigation, it functions under the Ministry of Home Affairs. It was established on the recommendation of Santanam Committee. The central government can authorize it to investigate a crime in a state without the consent of the concerned state. It was established on the recommendation of Santanam Committee. With reference to the Election Commission of India, consider the following statements. It has advisory jurisdiction in the matter of disqualification of members of parliament and state legislatures. Who among the following is qualified to be a member of the Finance Commission of India? A person who is the judge of a high court or qualified to be appointed as one. A person who has wide experience in financial matters and in administration. A person who has special knowledge of economics. The 73rd Constitutional Amendment Act 1982 provides for compulsory reservation in Panchayat for scheduled caste, scheduled tribes and backward classes. Scheduled caste, scheduled tribes and women, no backward classes. The right to vote is a fundamental right in India. No. It's a legal right. Pocket veto. Taking no action on the bill passed by the legislature. Absolute veto. Withholding of assent to the bill passed by the legislature. Passed by the legislature. Okay. With reference to the drafting committee of the Indian Constitution, consider the following statements. Dr. B.R. Ambedkar was appointed as the constitutional advisor to the committee. It prepared the first draft of the constitution within 1 year of its first meeting. It consisted of 7 members. It prepared the first draft of the constitution within 1 year of its first meeting. Okay. Which of the following expenses are charged on Consolidated Fund of India? Salaries of Supreme Court judges. Okay. Pension of Supreme Court judges. Okay. 1 and 3 ఇక్కడ లేదు. 1, 3, 4 కూడా ఉందా? ఓకే. Pensions of High Court judges. Consolidated Fund of India. Which of the following have been bearing upon both Part 2 and Part 4 of the Indian Constitution? Part 2, Part 3 and Part 4 of the Indian Constitution. Education, protection of environment. Education and protection of environment.